Champ, 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 champ.
Perfect,
Champ.
perfect, perfect,
Champ, champ.
I was gonna rip his
Champ.
heart out. I'm the best ever.
Champ.
I'm the most brutal and
Champ.
vicious and most ruthless champion
Champ.
there's ever been. There's no one to
Champ.
stop me. Lynx,
Champ.
conqueror. No, I'm
Champ.
Alexander. He's no Alexander.
Champ.
I'm the best ever. There's
Champ.
never been anybody's ruthless.
Champ.
I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack
Champ.
Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm
Champ.
from Nairclaw. There's no one that
Champ.
can match me.
My name is Nnneewwww, but on Instagram I go by Staywoka. I'm 19. What else you want to know about me? Hartford, Connecticut. Wow. I would say I basically grew up in adversity. I'm the product of a young mother. My mom, she had me at 15, so she was a child herself, so she exposed me to a lot of things that I shouldn't have had to be exposed to, but I made it out. I feel like life is going very well right now. I made a lot of accomplishments. I feel like if I continue on the right path, I could become somebody. I was always I had a love for learning. I always did well in school. Like, teachers never had to really say anything bad about me. Like, I always was the teacher's helper. I think my love for writing started in the 6th grade, but I always did stuff like write music at a younger age. I just love to write and express myself, because I can say that in my household, when my mom, despite her issues, she did foster creativity and within all of her children. She always pushed us and motivated us to be creative, to do things that we love to do. She always was very supportive with me doing poetry, singing, and writing. I would say it was definitely an escape for me, but I feel like I wrote more when I was going through something. Like, if I wasn't able to really talk it out with people, there weren't many people there for me to tell my feelings to, so writing was for me to escape. I always had an imagination, and that's what a lot of my teachers saw in me, and I would do things like, I remember in the 5th grade, I did a Maya Angelou poem. It was called Still I Rise. I remember a teacher came up to me, she says I had the perfect voice to deliver a poem. So in 5th grade, it really put like a battery in my back to be like, you know what, this is your purpose. I would say my form of writing, like, I want to be I'm like very candid, and I kind of like want to speak to a variety of different people, like more so urban. I mix like my poetry, intertwine it with like rapping and stuff like that. And one thing I do like, and I started getting into, is because my mom raps, so I think I was inspired by her as well, and she used to grow up watching. I used to grow up watching with her sometimes battle rap, so that kind of like influenced me a little bit, because you know, when people do battle rap, it's like they putting out their anger. It's like they have something positive to get that out. So that's what I try to do with like music and poetry and rapping. I kind of like try to intertwine all of them into one. Ideal artist. Well, I would say I don't. It's so many. Okay, from like when it's singing wise and probably like conscious rap, I would say like people like Lauryn Hill. I listen to her a lot. And then since I love to sing as well, I'm very old school. I listen to people like Aretha Franklin, which is because I grew up with my grandmother and she always played that on a Sunday. So I got a pretty wide range of music. I'm not, just narrow-minded with music. I'm open to all music. And then for probably like other rap, like since I'm now getting into it more, I started to listen to more people like, Jay-Z, Nas, those, higher up people that everyone listened to. And then I started to listen to other people like Heather B and Eve and all of them. And I'm inspired by many people. I feel like I can pull a little bit from everyone to kind of like help mold me into who I want to be. Definitely I have to say my great aunt who took me in. She is definitely an influential. She's constantly guiding me and talking to me and telling me, how to conduct myself as a young lady. And I really do look up to her a lot. Like sometimes, she tell me, you don't try to be me, be yourself, but just learn from my mistakes. So I would have to say definitely my great aunt. Okay, so poetry is, I feel like poetry is rap. It's just rap is just combined with a beat in the background. Poetry, yeah, that's everything evolved out of poetry. Like music is poetry. Poetry is just words written, and then you give it your own flow, which could be you put it on a beat or you put it on, something for a song. So poetry, I feel like it's everything. I think life reflects art, definitely. Everyone has their own story. I think everyone's story is a form of art. And like, how the statement where tell your story, telling your story is a form of art. And some people could tell their story by, me, I could tell my story by writing. Some people can tell their story by dancing. It's just so many different ways to share your story. I think the youth would definitely benefit from having resources. There's so many creative people out here in this day and age, but don't have, like for instance, family that will help them achieve what they want, or someone to be in their ear telling them positive things. But if they have things in the community they can go to express themselves, then I feel like a lot of things will go down. Like crime will go down, people getting into substance abuse, which is a very big thing, indulging in negativity. So you see that in a lot of inner cities where black people live, we don't have a lot of those resources. Those are kind of taken out, and you can see that when those things are taken out, it shifts a lot of people's behavior, and they wonder why it's so many of us not achieving our dreams or doing positive things, because the environment we living in is not positive. I was thinking about changing it because it came around when I was in the 10th grade. I went to basically a predominantly white school, and I kind of struggled with my identity as a black person. It wasn't a lot of a lot of people around to shower you in black love, just people being a positive reflection. So it just came about when some kid was like, "Oh, stay woke," and then it was around the time where I was depressed, and I kind of like made up my face, where I put a bunch of dots on my face, and I walked to school, came to school with it on my face, and it was basically for attention. And I call it that's when I just started calling myself Stay Woka, because I have to stay woke about a bunch of things that are happening in society. But I do feel like I want to change it. I think I'll just go back to who I am and just my regular name, Nnneewwww. It's just, people started calling me Stay Woka, and I was like, I'll probably keep it, but I'm thinking about just going by my regular name. Like I stated before, depression comes from like where it came from for me was my household. My mom, I had to take care of my siblings from the age of 8 to 17, and I really had no life. I had to stay in the house most of the time, just watching my sisters while my mom did what she wanted to do because of her substance abuse. So it kind of caused a lot of things in the household. It made the household lose its structure, and that's when I started going through depression. And I spent some time, and that's when I went to foster care, and I lived with another family member, and then I went back home. It's just my mom, she didn't allow me to be a kid. I had to grow up really fast and become the adult, and until 17, where I just said I'm sick of it and I want to change. And luckily my aunt, she took me in. But I feel like depression comes from definitely the social media. Social media is a tool where if you're not a critical thinker, or you don't know how to handle your feelings, it can destroy your mind, because we're constantly trying to measure ourselves against other people, and people are giving false realities. And definitely social media has contributed to a lot of my depression, because I stayed in the house most of the time, where I saw kids from school posting things, going to parties, and just having a fun time, when I'm stuck at home watching my sisters while my mom just do whatever she wants to. But definitely social media contributes to depression, poverty, definitely who you are as a person if the world doesn't accept you. I was one of those kids who didn't fit in. Like, I always was ostracized by my peers. They always called me weird and stuff, because I didn't do what everybody else did. I always stood out, and I just let the world know I was here. You're not gonna walk over me. I'm gonna stand here and you're gonna notice me. That's the type of person I was. Definitely visuals for my poems. Yeah, definitely more poetry. Maybe get in the studio, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna put out more music in the future. I'm just right now focusing on school, focusing on reading, growing intellectually, trying to become more of a critical thinker, and that's basically it. I'm just trying to be free and just do me. There's definitely a lot of people I can shout out. Definitely I gotta give a thanks to my great aunt. Like I said, she has helped me get to this point that I'm at in my life, and I feel very good about myself. And definitely have to get a shout out to my ancestors. My ancestors always put that battery in my back. My ancestors and God helped me get through a lot of my troubles and misfortunes and things of that nature. So without my ancestors and God and everyone else, I would not be here at this point where I am today. Okay, it's called If We Ain't One. If we ain't one, we ain't none, nothing to achieve. So close, baby, I can hear you breathe. We got that chemistry, we got that alchemy, we up that value. Society couldn't get in between what was in us. The world was against us, but we were each other's peace, assiduously searching each other's wounds for healing. We say fuck what the others stink, baby, we build and honoring each other like no other. Caressing each other's pain, filling up acupuncture. Penetration was like the rhythm of African drums to African blue, black, sweet plums. Dancing to the morning sun. That night, we could see the first sun. What we did can't be undone. If we ain't one, we ain't none. If we ain't one, we ain't none. I'm a Krypton, sometimes I'll be making them weak, SWV. Remember when we did it in the back of the SUV? Haha, just playing. You love that I got a sense of humor. Despite this war shit, you would think we baby boomers born into chaos. Black love and getting no layoffs, we got a job to do. Our love is serene and joyful, call it a bayou. Baby, if you treat me right, I'll stand by you. Indoctrinated by the incomplete. The psyche we must defeat, a cycle we must not repeat. We came from broken homes, but we ain't broken no more. We left that broken shit alone. Melanin lit, baby, we the shit, long as I live. I'm giving everything but the mind, body, and soul in return for some gold. Like how Metairie rose, they sold, now they reaping what they sold. Got fucked in the mind. Still on level 1, money ain't get you shit. Still disenfranchised, can't look them in the eyes. So go on Monica, this a ongoing phenomenon that won't stop till they bottom drop, blood clot. No circulation, the word ain't circulating. Y'all still fucking with the Karens, knowing damn well it's hate for black childbearing. Y'all must be God-fearing, fearing them. The way we giving our mind, bodies, and souls, we gon' give excuses. They don't pose no threat, but they on our necks, can't breathe, suffocation. I go by this declaration. And be thou not your oppressor, and accept none of his ways, even if they tell you you're getting paid. Do the Reagan and just say no. You know that shit didn't do shit but give us hope. Actions make a new day. Stay woka, and I'm out. Alright, shout out to Chadwood Champ for this interview. I really enjoyed myself. He had some really great thought-provoking questions. So you can reach me on Instagram at Woka705. Thank you.
Champ, 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 champ.
Perfect,
Champ.
perfect, perfect.
Chant.
I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Lynx, conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody's ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
I'm more than a man. You need more men. I am Mike with the hands. I lead with the pen. Got the mold of a beast. Fresh out the den. The code of the streets I got tatted on my skin. Watch your grill, cause boy I'm wanted. Champ been a threat like a left on foreman. Got the best performance, the best endurance. More cash like Floyd and I jab like Roy. Dedication, pain and the suffering is the tools I choose to do measuring. Cause niggas coming short, water in the sport. Speaking bullshit, feeding niggas pork. My bars enticing like a war with Tyson. I float with lightning, I spark the nicest. These niggas hyper, don't get hyper. I'm an animal, fuck around and bite ya. Niggas show respect when I come through. Bitches get wet when I come through. I always been a threat when I come through. Shit, I feel like the best when I come through. Niggas show respect when I come through. Bitches get wet when I come through. I always been a threat when I come through. Shit, I feel like the best when I come through. Hunger is deep, ocean tight. I chew through beats and probably overwrite. I got an over